Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be messages and predictions for your month of March 2024. We're going to start off the reading with a general overview of your month. So this will include the main themes of the month, the main energies that you'll be dealing with, as well as significant events and changes that are coming your way. Then we are going to look at the specific areas of your life. So we're going to look at your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and finally your spiritual and personal growth. There are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today, so I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Amethyst. Number 2 is Mookaite Jasper. And number 3 is Rose Quartz. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones. So if you guys chose the Amethyst, this is going to be your reading all about your month of March 2024. We are going to start off by looking at a general overview of your month. So looking at the main themes, the main energies, the main events. So let's get into it. Your first oracle card is Trust. Allow me, Divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. We have monarch butterflies on this card, which could be an important symbol for you. I also want to mention that the camera timer was at 35 when I show you this card, and when I see these 2 numbers together, it does bring to my attention the connection between the 3D and the 5D. So what we could be seeing for you, group number 1, in the month of March is the grounding of your deepest longings, the manifestation of your deepest desires. For your next oracle card, and just for context, this oracle deck has both light and shadow cards. So this one is a light card. And we have for you the card of Union. That's beautiful. So many of you are manifesting union. And looking at this card too, like there's so many different images on it, and there's so many different kinds of union, right? It can come in many different forms. It can be union with yourself, with your soul, platonic, romantic union. Maybe some of you are actively manifesting a certain kind of union right now, and this is what you are longing for. This is what you are trusting the universe for. And the month of March is when we are seeing this union grounded, like a union that already exists in the higher dimensions. A union that already exists in the 5D is now being grounded into your 3D reality. This is what's happening for you this month. That is so exciting. I also want to mention that other cards in this deck do have some kind of affirmation on them, except this one, it's just union. 222, as I'm saying that. Like no explanation needed, no caption needed, just union. This is what is coming to you in the month of March. We also have Truth Seeker. Strengthen your intuitive senses and lift the veil from your mind's eye for a clearer connection to source. We have the numbers 41 and 42, which are coming out next to each other. So maybe these could be like a significant age, and I know that we are reading for the month of March, but it could also be talking about like April 1st and April 2nd, or like 41, 42 days from now, which is like 6 weeks-ish from now, which I'm realizing is also not March, but it could be a significant time. So just something to keep in mind if that does resonate for you. In addition to monarch butterflies, I feel like the image of eyes could be significant, especially blue eyes. We also have a cat down here. So a cat could be a significant spirit animal for you, or maybe you have a cat, or you will be getting a cat or spending time with a cat in the month of March. This is also really interesting. This card is also talking about like the connection between the physical 3D and the 5D where your higher self resides. Strengthen your intuitive senses and lift the veil from your mind's eye for a clearer connection to source. I think in the month of March, you are feeling very connected to your higher self, to your spiritual team, to the universe and spirit itself. And having a very, this goes with trust too. It's like you're receiving a lot of clarity this month. A greater understanding of why certain things have unfolded in your 3D life, and a greater understanding of the direction you're going. It's like, I understand the blueprint of my journey. I understand why this is happening. I understand why I am here. There's confusion being lifted this month, and you are overcome with a great sense of clarity and a strong sense of connection to the higher realms, to your divine support, who you know that you can turn to for truth, you can turn to for answers, you can turn to for guidance. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful energy. So let's take a look at your astrological cards now. We have the third house with communication, thoughts, socializing, communication style, learning, the mind, early education, siblings, interests, short trips, and language. And then we have the sign of Capricorn. In terms of relevant zodiac signs, of course, we have Capricorn here. The third house is related to the sign of Gemini. So Capricorn or Gemini could be significant placements that you have, or that someone important in your life is going to have, or someone who's coming into your life in the month of March. If we put these two energies together, it is giving me the vibe of networking. So that could be a big theme for you in the month of March as well. Networking and making connections with people whom you look up to in a professional sense, or you really admire their public image. You really admire the impact that they are making in the world and how they are serving the world. So you could be meeting people that you will collaborate with at some point in the future, or people who inspire you in your own professional path. You could also be attending a work party or going on a short trip that is related to your work, or like traveling a bit of a distance to attend a networking event, or to attend a convention that is related to an area of your interest. And you could also be investing financially into something that will advance your career, or investing financially into something that will educate you, that is related to self-improvement, or that will like open your mind more, that will broaden your horizons more. You could also be concerned with your finances in the long term. So looking a bit at a bigger scale, not just like how do I want to budget my money in the coming weeks? How do I want to budget my money this month? But rather thinking like, what are my greater goals? What do I want to do, for example, in 5 years from now? And what can I do now to start preparing, to start saving, or to start wisely investing my money so that I can be where I want to be in 5 years' time? Sort of starting to think bigger. Another thing that could be happening in the month of March is examining yourself and almost like determining what are parts of you that you had once strongly identified with as like, this is me, this is my personality, but now maybe realizing that that was like rooted in trauma, or that was a part of your programming and it's not necessarily like your authentic soul. And I do think this kind of investigation, if you will, is going to be easier for you in the month of March, because your soul is coming through so strongly and its energy, its energetic signature is so unmistakable. Once you can see so clearly who you are, everything that is not you like also becomes really clear in contrast, if that makes sense. So I do think, you know, with butterflies being a symbol for you, this is definitely a very transformative month for you, and a very expansive month. So next we are going to look at some tea leaf cards to see any other events that you should know about, things to look forward to, things to look out for. We have Gavel, involvement with the law. Interesting. We have May, again, bringing up stuff that is not in March. Yeah, so April came up and May came up as well. This energy that we are seeing here, this might be something that extends into the months of April and May. Or perhaps, you know, we spoke about networking, we spoke about like travel, investing in your education. These could be things that you are setting up in the month of March to carry out in April or May. And then we also have Ear with good news. Very nice. What is this involvement with the law? I mean, it could be that some of you could be receiving good news about a legal issue, you know, something that has been ruled in your favor, or maybe a loved one, someone close to you, has been going through a bit of a messy legal situation and some good news is coming out in their favor. You could also be working with a lawyer to advance your business, or like to review a contract that has been offered to you. You could even be in a legal career yourself or studying law, something like that. And I'm also noticing that the first letter of each of these words spells gem, which might be significant. Maybe that's further indication of a Gemini. It could be indicating like crystals or jewelry or something of that nature. And you could be receiving good news about an opportunity that will start in May, or something that will come into effect in the month of May. Very interesting. So this concludes the general overview part of your reading. So now we're going to move into the specific areas of your life. As you can see, I have one tarot card and one, there it is. I was like, do I not have the last oracle card? One tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Three of Wands. And for your oracle card, we have Astrophyllite and Ginkgo, Star Elders, signs and symbols, divine blueprints, and Amenti. Ginkgo nuts, by the way, delicious. They are so good. They smell kind of weird when they fall from the trees, but when you eat them, they're very good. And also, ginkgo supplement is good for your brain. I just started taking that, just in case that's relevant or useful to you. Anyway, group number one, there is so much referencing like following months, and it feels weird because I know that this is a reading for the month of March, but your spiritual team really wants to emphasize that this beautiful energy we're seeing is like carrying into the future months as well. And I feel like in the month of March, you are planning for a lot of exciting things and accepting new opportunities that are going to be unfolding in following months. The reason I say that again is because the Three of Wands is associated with the sun in Aries, and Aries season, at least in tropical astrology, is a season that starts in late March and ends in late April. And actually, in sidereal astrology, it is mid-April to mid-May. So like March, April, May, these are all very significant months for you. Amenti, I believe, means like things that are hidden. So we have signs and symbols, divine blueprints, Amenti. It's almost as if you are on some kind of divine counterpart journey, group number 1. And, you know, with lifting the veil, connecting to source, trusting in the divine union, this feels like the veil is being lifted on the divine blueprint of your counterpart journey, of your soulmate journey. I think something that's coming to you in the month of March is this great understanding of, like we spoke about, what you've been through and why you've had the experiences you have and what they're trying to lead you to. You may be gaining clarity about who your counterpart is, or where you will find them, or you'll gain clarity that you are indeed moving towards them. And you're seeing with more clarity, like, your path to union with them. It's going to be shown to you. And I feel that if you had any doubt in your mind in terms of like, is my person out there? Is this really my person? Are we really going to end up together? If you had any doubts in your mind about these questions, all of that doubt now is being blown out of the water by your spiritual team. With a card that is associated with the sun, that shines light on things, that exposes things so that they are no longer hidden. This is shining light on the hidden things so that any like questions, confusion, doubt that you had about your love life, it's all being illuminated now. The confusion, like, we're leaving behind this cloudy, muddy, confusing energy so that you know exactly where you stand in your love life, in your relationships, on your divine counterpart journey. If you have a specific person who has been confusing you, who has been confusing you, you are receiving clarity when it comes to like what is in this person's heart and mind and where this connection is going. I do have the feeling with the Three of Wands of someone coming out of their comfort zone. This could be you, this could be another person that you're involved with, but someone is stepping up, someone is coming out of their comfort zone, and someone is coming towards you. With star elders, this could be a union with your star family. So your soul family with whom you share origins somewhere other than Earth. Or your divine counterpart, your soulmate, this could be confirming that you are, in fact, star family as well. With signs and symbols, you are likely seeing a lot of signs about this connection and about the incoming union. Maybe you are already seeing them. And we also have the element of air. So this is also making me think of communication coming in, of clarity. Air, it's clarity, it's decisiveness. It's also a lighter energy. So any heavy energies that have been surrounding your love life and relationships are being lifted at this time. This could also be indicating that like an Aries person is significant. More specifically, someone with an Aries sun could be significant, or an air sign. So we have Gemini again. That's like the third time Gemini is coming up. Which Gemini could also be like a metaphor for twin energy. Air sign is also Libra and Aquarius. There could also be someone who has their sun in an air sign or their Mars in an air sign. So, also if you do resonate with travel, because we spoke about it a little bit here, if you do resonate with traveling in March, April, or May, because it seems that we're just talking about all of them today. If you do resonate with that, that could be like part of your union with your soulmate or with your star family could involve travel. Also, if you're waiting for communication with someone, I do think that it will come from them rather than you reaching out first. It does seem more like they will reach out first to you, and their catalyst for reaching out to you could be that they see you've reached a significant like accomplishment or milestone, and so they're like reaching out to congratulate you or to ask you how your new life is going or something like that. Or they just see that you're doing well, and that makes them like want to talk to you. So for your career and studies now, for your tarot card, ooh, we have the Magician. Lovely. And can you believe there's more Gemini energy here, because the Magician is related to the planet Mercury. That is the 4th time we have Gemini energy. And could be Virgo as well, because Virgo is also related to Mercury. And then for your oracle card, we have Fulgurite and Rose Bay Willow Herb with regeneration, acceleration, change, and shamanic wisdom. And there is that air element again. Air element could also be referring to things speeding up in your life. The Magician is fast. The energy of the Magician is fast. The energy of Mercury is fast. And we literally have the keyword acceleration here. We also have these lightning bolts, which make me think of like fast and sudden change. So how this pertains to your career and studies, and I also want to say your financial situation, you are experiencing, I want to say unprecedented. That is a word that is coming to my mind. You are experiencing an unprecedented breakthrough in manifesting your career, studies, or financial goals. Something is happening for you very quickly. You could be experiencing manifesting things in a matter of days. So you decide on Monday that you want to manifest a new job. By Friday, you have the new job. You decide that you want to manifest $500 on Monday. By Wednesday, you have the $500. Like, this is the kind of energy that I'm seeing here. Like, quick, sudden, powerful manifestations. And the beautiful thing about this is it is really up to you what you manifest. And you can do so quickly, and you can do so with precision. Another beautiful thing about the Magician is that they carry all of the suits of tarot. So they have the cup, the wand, the sword, and the pentacle, which means that you have everything that it takes to be successful in your desired field. You have the knowledge, you have like the actual experience and skill, you have the passion and drive, and you also have the emotional investment and the desire to serve others and help others that will really propel you on your path. We do have the word change here. So some of you could be going through a career change or preparing for that, or you could be changing your role or changing your position. Change could also be adding something into the mix, like starting a new project, thinking about new goals. The Magician is a number 1 card, so there definitely is a strong feeling of new beginnings coming in your career, but things are definitely speeding up for you. If there's anything you've been manifesting that has been very slow or very stagnant, this is going to be a month where you are seeing things suddenly speed up. Also, things that once took you a long time, like processes, are getting faster too. So the example that's coming to my mind is like, if you're learning a language perhaps, and maybe in the past you had to see a vocabulary word like 20 times before it would really stick with you, and maybe you have found a more efficient way of studying, or maybe you're just getting the hang of it, and maybe now you only need to see it like 8 times to remember it. Especially things that have to do with like your intellectual capacity, your efficiency when you're working, the way you process and remember things, that is getting faster. Your brain is getting more efficient at it because we have Mercury energy here. This could also be something accelerating in terms of like technology. So devices, internet, things like that. Your commute to work could be getting faster as well. But like, yeah, maybe let's say you work in an office and your office just got all new computers and so now it's like way faster, or they just got faster internet, or a new software was just released that makes a certain task in your job like way easier. The interface is way more like easy to understand. The way things are organized makes so much more sense. Like it's like my tasks are going to be so much less of a headache now. There's also that feeling. Wow, you guys are on fire so far. So finally we have your cards for spiritual and personal growth. For your tarot card, we have the 9 of Wands, which is the moon in Sagittarius. And for your oracle card, we have the Diamond Ray, Diamond Light Body. We have the element of air once again, right here. That's really just the energy getting lighter. Energy is getting lighter. The energy is accelerating. High frequency activations and planetary grid work. Another thing that might be happening this month is very vivid dreams that when you wake up, you remember everything and it feels very real. There could also be a significant commitment that is happening with this diamond. You know, I'm thinking of typical like diamond engagement ring. So you could be, some of you, because I know it's not going to be everyone, that'd be crazy if it was everyone, you could be getting engaged or like coming together with the person you will one day get engaged to. Or it could be more metaphorical in that you are committing, like signing a new contract, or you're committing to yourself in like a new habit that you want to build, a new path that you want to go down. But we have the 9 of Wands here, which is this feeling of don't give up, hang in there, you're almost there, you've come so far, like keep fighting. And we've seen repeatedly in this reading that this is a month of breakthrough, that things are finally speeding up for you, and that you're experiencing breakthroughs in multiple manifestations. So I think that this 9 of Wands, it's more of a retrospective thing where this month you are looking back on times where things were much more difficult, looking back on times where you were stuck and you didn't really have hope, and you maybe even thought about just like giving up, but something just kept you going. And I think you're looking back and realizing that something that kept you going was your soul. It was your divine wisdom, where even though in your physical surroundings, your physical eyes couldn't see the reason to keep going, couldn't see the like how things could possibly get better, your soul urged you to keep going. And these breakthroughs that you're now experiencing is like that testament to the wisdom of your soul. Like, this is why we keep going. This is why we don't give up when things are difficult. This is why we keep trusting. So it's almost like this month is proof. Your intuition is being proven right, and it gives you strength for, because you know, life is cyclical, right? So I'm sure at some point in your future, this will happen again. And when it happens again, when you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling lost, you will remember this time. You will remember March 2024. And you will say, there was a time where I was in this heavy place before, and I kept going. And then I saw my breakthroughs. I got my clarity. I know from experience to keep going when I feel in my soul to keep going. And things transpiring this month are like proof of that. And on that note, it could be very helpful to future you to document, like to keep a record of all the amazing things that are happening now, like to write in a journal or to take lots of pictures so that you can look back on them in your camera roll and like remember what you're going through now, because there will come a day eventually in the future, hopefully in a very long time from now, where again you're struggling. It's hard to find hope, it's hard to find motivation. And you can look back on this time to be like, this is why I keep going. Because like I've been here before and I know what to do. I know to keep trusting. As I'm delivering this message, and this is a new sensation, like I sometimes do get physical sensations when I'm reading. It's like the inside of my ears are very, very warm. And my hands as well. The palms of my hands and the inside of my ears are very, very warm. And I'm also realizing there's a lot of this imagery in your cards. The hands out, like laid out like this. Is this a sign of receiving? Or is it a sign of offering? If you do like meditation or prayer, maybe holding your hands out like this is encouraged. And with the ears, it is more specifically my right ear for some reason, but it could be a sign of, could be a sign of a download coming through. Like if your ears start to feel warm. It could also be a reference to clairaudient abilities. That could be one of your stronger gifts. Receiving messages through sound. Yeah. But I think these are all of the messages for my group number ones. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. It was such a beautiful energy. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. A wonderful month of March, April, and May, which all came through. And I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, group number one. And I am sending so much love to you, to everyone who appeared in this reading, directly and indirectly. I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the Mookaite Jasper, this is going to be a reading all about your month of March 2024. We are going to start off this reading with a general overview. So we're going to see the main themes, the main energies, and the main events of your month ahead. So let's get into it. Your first oracle card is Liberation. Beautiful. So a big theme for you in the month of March is liberation. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. So this card seems to be talking about a liberation of your mind, being free from the negative voice in your head, being free from insecurities, basically not having those control your life anymore or keep you away from the opportunities and blessings that you want to move towards. But this could also be talking about liberation in a more physical sense. So, for example, some of you could be freed from certain responsibilities or commitments that you have been dreading, from a certain position that doesn't fulfill you anymore, that has been weighing you down. You could be free from that. This could be talking about financial freedom as well that you are experiencing. Maybe there's been a change that you've wanted to make in your life, but you've been having certain financial or material constraints, and now you have the resources that you need to free yourself. For some of you, there could also be some rules or laws that are changing. So this may be something more collective, but like something is changing that grants you more freedoms. There could be something happening like on a social or political level that is granting you the freedom that you have a right to as well. Dragonflies could be a significant symbol for this group, so keep an eye out for them throughout this next month, or maybe you have already been seeing dragonflies. They are very they're kind of creepy when I see them in real life, but they are a beautiful symbol. So for your next oracle card, for context, this deck has both light cards and shadow cards. And so you guys have a shadow card, and we have war. And it says, I understand that violence doesn't solve anything. Very interesting. We also have the number 26. So the 26th of the month could be a significant date, March 26th, or maybe someone is 26 years old, like you or someone significant. Going back to this liberation card, the doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. These two cards together, it looks like you making a decision not to fight those doubts and fears anymore, because you realize that it doesn't actually fix anything. So if you have an insecurity come up, like what if I'm not good enough, and you start beating yourself up for that, you're realizing that that does nothing to solve the problem. And I'm thinking of that expression, what you resist persists, which that could be relevant to some of you, but I think you're just realizing that when there's something that you want to change, it's no use like judging yourself. It's no use being hard on yourself. That actually doesn't do anything to move you in the direction that you want to move into. And then we have illumination with the number 24. So you have similar numbers coming up here, 24 through 26. Again, those could be dates of the month that are relevant. I love this image, by the way. Shine your light upon those who cannot see. This is giving me the feeling of you being a shining example. So this could also have to do with your relationships with other people, that like there's no use in fighting. And I really feel like this has to do with how you bring about change. I want to be very careful here, because I don't think, like, when there's a change that you want to see in the world, I want to be careful saying like this is the right way to do it and this is the wrong way to do it, because I think everybody has different ways of affecting change, and we need people to be taking different approaches, because certain people are going to be responsive to different approaches. So I don't think it's right to be like, that's not how you should be fighting for your cause, sweetie. You know, like everyone has their own way of doing it. What I can see here for my group number 2s is that perhaps in the month of March, you are leaning more towards an approach of living by example. It's like, it's kind of like I'm tired of fighting. So I'm just gonna do me. I'm just gonna work on myself, and I'm gonna be a shining example. And so an example of this energy is like, let's say there's something that a lot of people in your life do that like you don't agree with, or that bothers you, and maybe you used to like confront them about it and it would just lead to arguments, and it felt like you trying to like convince them, and you're like, maybe let me just inspire people through my own actions. Let me just be this guiding light. And I'm not saying that's like the right way to bring change or the only way to do it. I think that this is something that you may be feeling called to do in the month of March, like something that feels right for you. Like rather than rather than arguing with others about like, this is what you should be doing. I'm just going to do what I think is right. And if people are inspired by that, and if that causes people to make change in their life, then that's awesome. I feel like this is more the approach that you are taking, and maybe one that will feel more peaceful for you. Now, let's take a look at some astrological cards. We have the 10th house, VIP access. That might be a very specific message for some of you. Like you could be getting VIP tickets to something. Public image, reputation, career, long-term goals, fame, recognition, ambition, respect, achievement, honors, success, potential, and authority. And we also have Uranus, the planet of Uranus. So these energies are related to the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius. So you could have these placements, or someone who will be playing a big role in your month of March could have Capricorn or Aquarius placements. This is a little bit more specific, but someone with Uranus in the 10th house could, I think I have Uranus in the 10th house. But anyway, yeah, someone with that placement could be significant this month. When we put these two energies together, because this is about your career, your long-term goals, the position that you hold, you could be having a sudden epiphany in the month of March about the career you want to pursue. So for those of you who have been wondering, like, what's my purpose in life, like in the professional sense, or like, what is the role that I want to take on in the world? You know, what kind of legacy do I want to leave? What name do I want to make for myself? How do I want to impact the world? What do I want to spend my life doing? For anyone who has been kind of musing over these questions, the month of March could be a month of a huge epiphany, a huge breakthrough in receiving answers to those questions. This energy could also be speaking of a sudden change in your career path, and more specifically, that suddenly your status is being boosted. So in the example of getting a promotion, it's not like you're moving up one rank, it's like you're going from here to all the way up here. It's like a huge sudden promotion in your position, or some of you could be suddenly gaining a lot of visibility, because the 10th house, it is the most visible. It's the highest part in the sky, like in someone's birth chart. So like you could be gaining overnight, like if you're on social media, something that you post could be like going viral overnight, or suddenly there's a big audience for the work that you're doing, or suddenly you're getting these kinds of VIP experiences, and it feels like an overnight sensation kind of thing. And there may have been a lot leading up to this, but the change that is happening in the 3D, it feels very sudden. Now, for some of you guys, it could also be that you're having a sudden change of heart in terms of what you want to do for a living. That even kind of surprises you. Like you maybe were very sure, like, this is what I want to do. I've spent X amount of years studying this. I've spent X amount of years in this job. And then suddenly one day you wake up and you're like, I don't know about this. Like, it's not doing it for me anymore. It feels like Uranus energy is quite unpredictable. It's just like you suddenly have this epiphany of like, I want to do something different. Also, oh my gosh, so much. I love the combination of these two decks. It's just, there's so much insight in them. Uranus, this kind of Aquarian energy, can also talk about rebellion and going against the grain. And we have authority here. So you may be like protesting something this month, peacefully, of course, but yeah, you could be like fighting against authority, or doing some kind of work to make something more fair, to change the rules. Yeah, rebellion against authority. Interesting. Yeah, so let's take a look at your tea leaf cards for anything else you need to look forward to, look out for, other specific events of the month. We have a month of the year, which group number 1 had a month as well. And it's March. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you. We also have funnel, period of frustration and lessons to be learned. And we have seahorse with family matters. So one thing that I'm thinking about this funnel card is that, like, yes, this energy does look frustrating because it's like there's so much material that has to move through this very small opening. So some of you have been in an energy where you are feeling stifled, or where you feel like the potential that you have isn't being given a fair chance. And with this liberation, you might be getting out of this stifled energy in the month of March. Again, like, I feel like you are free. Some of you are freeing yourselves from a role that you no longer want to be in, or you're freeing yourself from a situation that was restrictive and stifling for you. With family matters here as well, you could be gaining insight about a certain familial relationship, especially a relationship that you have with a family member where there has been tensions, frustration, annoyance, friction. Like if there's a certain family member that's like, the way it's coming through is almost like you are frustrated with someone or annoyed with someone, but then you feel bad about it because you're like, I actually don't know why this person rubs me the wrong way so much. Why do I feel so agitated when I'm around this person? And it's like, you don't want to feel that way because, I like that we dropped this though. Like, we're dropping the tension, we're dropping the frustration. It's like, I don't want to feel this way because, like, I care about this person, but like, what is it about this person that triggers me so much? I guess it doesn't have to be a family member. That's just how it's coming through for most of you. And you could be realizing, and again, it's like fighting this feeling is not going to help. Another thing I want to be really clear about is when I say, like, what you resist persists, that doesn't mean to ignore it. So, like, if you're frustrated with someone and you're thinking what you resist persists, that doesn't mean like, oh, I should just ignore my feelings of frustration. It just means that you don't fight them. It means that you sit with them. You make space for them, you observe them. So you could be gaining some valuable insight about why someone has annoyed you or rubbed you the wrong way. Like, what is it about them that frustrates you? And it will likely be, you know, some way in which they're holding up a mirror to you. They're showing you something about yourself that has been difficult to address. But I feel like even just having that understanding lessens the frustration considerably. So you may find that family relationships or the relationships with people that you see every day. So it could be like coworkers as well, classmates, teachers, people that you see every day. Those relationships will be more harmonious. March could also be indicating like someone born in March. And another thing I want to say, kind of a specific message, is that for those of you who have goals that are on a timeline and you're like, I want to finish this by March, you will be on schedule and you will finish by March, just as you planned. So this concludes the general overview. I'm just going to drink some water. And now we are going to get into the specific areas of your life. So I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships. your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So for your love life and relationships, for your tarot card, we have the Seeker of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. And then we have Stromatolite and Fern, Akasha, Strip Back and Simplify, Look to Your Origins. And we have the elements of water and earth here. And we have air here with the Page of Swords. So that's a lot. Air, water, and earth is like 3 out of the 4 elements, but you could be dealing with a significant air, earth, or water sign. Generally there's a few things that Page of Swords can mean. So first, let's start, for those of you who are single and don't have a specific person in mind, this could be indicating you meeting someone new, because pages do indicate new beginnings. And there's this flying bird, which birds make me think of communication, someone new coming towards you. And in the month of March, you are in a stage of getting to know each other and being in frequent communication. And something that will be very refreshing, I'm hearing, about this new person is that you don't waste any time. The way it's coming through is like you don't waste any time getting to the nitty gritty. You know, sometimes when people are dating, they might delay speaking certain truths because they want the other person to like them, or they want to impress them at first, so they're wearing a mask. I feel like this person just skips through all of that, and they're like, I'm just gonna be real with you. Like I'm gonna lay all of my cards on the table. This is what I want out of a relationship. These are my values. Like, let's just find out if we vibe with each other. Let's find out if we're compatible. Like, let's not play that game of putting on masks and being vague and beating around the bush. So it's like someone who's very straightforward, and that actually allows you to click right away. And you may even have like very straightforward conversations about your intentions and your expectations and what you want in the future, like very early on. And it's like you skip months of that vague talking stage. That's kind of how it feels. Like, let's just get it out there. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't have time to waste. That is the kind of vibe. And yeah, like strip back and simplify. It's like you're making the dating process so simple this way. And then for those of you who do have a specific person, I do think that this energy could be indicating having a tough conversation that you have been avoiding. Because the Page of Swords, like I said, is very straightforward, to the point, and it can talk about, you know, speaking these tougher truths. And then we have strip back and simplify, which is really making me think of like, let's not dance around this, and let's not sweep things under the rug. Like, let's just talk about what needs to be talked about, plain and simple. So one example of this might be like if you've been seeing someone for a while and you haven't really had a proper conversation about where this relationship is going, and it's just felt like very vague for a long time. This month is when you're finally like, let's just get to it, you know? Let's get to business. Let's talk about the things that we need to talk about and get our truths out there. And yes, these can be difficult conversations because, well, you're about to either hear what you really want to hear or hear what you really don't want to hear, but you don't know until you just have that conversation. And whatever truth comes out, I do think it's going to be refreshing. It's like, at least now I know. I also feel like the Page of Swords is like, don't run away from the answers. Don't run away from the information. And an image that comes to my mind, which maybe I've used this before, is like someone getting their exam back and they're holding it in their hands, but they're like, I can't look at it. And it's like, whether you look at it or not, the grade is the same, and you have to look at it eventually. And I feel like it's the same thing in your connection. Like, whether you have the what are we talk or not, this person feels about you how they feel about you. So don't you want to know so that you can move forward? It's kind of like we're like delaying the inevitable. There's something we have to talk about so that we can move forward. Yeah. So for your career and studies, now for your tarot card, we have the Devil. So this is an energy that is closely tied to this card, 10th house, Capricorn, Saturn. That is Devil energy. I'm having, throughout this reading, I've had a few like tastes. One of them was chicken and one of them was broccoli, which I have not eaten, but I'm just noticing those are foods that some people eat when they're like bodybuilding, you know, or like when they're trying to get fit. So I don't know if some of you guys are like on a fitness journey, but I just thought I would mention that. And then for your oracle card, we have Grandmother Moonstone, cycles of change, illuminating boundaries and new beginnings. Oh my gosh. I like have chills when I look at this because I really feel like this comes back to a message of liberation. For a lot of you, I do think this has to do, like, you are getting off a hamster wheel. Like, for those of you who have felt stuck in your career or like crushed by pressure or like dreading the work that you do, you are being freed from this. Because the Devil, it can literally talk about being trapped, being restricted. I feel like professionally or academically, like a lot of you guys have been in an environment that you felt was stifling. And it could be the job itself. Like for some of you, it could be that you genuinely don't like the job that you've been doing and you feel stuck in it. But for others of you, I think it could be the environment, just the environment that you're in. It could be like the people that you're working with. Like, for example, maybe you love your line of work, but you have a boss or you have an authority figure who is extremely controlling, and you cannot, like, if you so much as question something that they said, they will make your life a living hell, you know? Like, or you might even be in a work environment where the authority figures are like blatantly breaking rules. Like maybe they're making you work overtime when they have no right to do that, and it just happens. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like a lot of you have been in like a restrictive or like an overly strict or controlling work environment. Or again, like I said, you're just feeling stifled by the nature of your work because it's not a good fit for you. But this is also about liberation, because we have change coming here. We have new beginnings and illuminating boundaries. So we're moving away from an energy where your boundaries have been constantly stepped over, full on like ignored. And then maybe you've even been disrespected, and we're moving into a situation where you can clearly establish boundaries. And also where emotions are taken into consideration, where this is not just about making money. This is not just about making someone else rich, like making someone above you rich. This is about connecting. It's about enjoying what we're doing. It's about serving others through the work that we do. And we also recognize that we're not machines, we're people. We're not going to have the same output every single day. We're not going to be in the same mood every single day. And so when someone in the team is down, they can rely on us. And when I'm down, I can rely on my team. And we lift each other up. Like, going through a change like this in your job or in your work environment or in your place of study, that anything that was holding you down, restricting you, controlling you, disrespecting you, is being like radically eliminated. With Grandmother Moonstone here, and this is going to make me emotional, I feel that many of you, this is your ancestors protecting you. Like your ancestors looking down on you and being like, you don't get to disrespect my baby like that. Like you don't get to play around with my baby like that. And they're helping to free you from this situation. Wow, that's beautiful. So I actually got quite emotional there with the energy of your ancestors. So for your final cards, we have spiritual and personal growth. Wow. For your tarot card, we have the Sovereign of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. Maybe for many of you, it is like a mother watching over you, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. The Queen of Cups, and I love that it's called the Sovereign in this deck. Reclaiming your energy, protecting your energy, recognizing your kindness as a strength, and recognizing the coexistence of like softness and toughness within you, and also refusing to let your kind, nurturing, empathic energy be taken advantage of. This is a reclaiming of your power. Your ancestors or passed on loved ones may be visiting you in dreams this month, which I think they always visit you, but you may be feeling their presence especially strongly. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what kind of flower this is, but if any of you know, I feel like it might be significant. And pearls as well. Pearls could be significant. And I think the flower on this card, it doesn't say, it just says Grandmother Moonstone, but I think they're poppies. We also have, for your oracle card, we have Crystal Grid, Focus, and we have all of the elements. And that makes me think of like integration, healing and integrating all of the facets of you, and like reclaiming them because you're no longer ashamed of them. There are certain parts of you that you need to reclaim, or that you're being called to reclaim. And it's coming through specifically that the reason these parts of you were shamed, whoever was shaming you for them, it's because they felt intimidated by them. And this could be something that has happened down your ancestral line, where you and your ancestors possess this beautiful strength, and those people who felt threatened by it, like stripped it from you, or they shamed you from it. So, and hoped that you would forget that you had that power. And something you're doing this month is reclaiming it. You could be like really connecting to your roots, whether that's your ancestry or like the land that your ancestors came from, whether you are currently still there or maybe you've moved somewhere else. It's like you're reconnecting to that place and like the traditions of that place. But yeah, this is a beautiful message. Create with intent. It's like we're no longer gonna let life just like happen to us. And it all comes back to this liberation. Like, you're moving into this energy now where you are free to create your new life, and you're free to create the new world that you want to live in. Some of you may be coming out of an energy of like hopelessness or pessimism, of like, this is just how life is, this is just how the world is. And I feel like your passed on loved ones are giving you strength to keep having hope and to keep fighting, and like, no, things don't have to be this way, and to move forward towards the reality that you truly desire in your deepest place, in your heart of hearts. Yeah, I would definitely recommend, I mean, if you feel called to, of course, but like manifestation rituals or meditations that you use to connect to like loved ones who are on the other side. I think that could be really empowering. Wow. So these are all of the messages for my group number 2s. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and a wonderful month of March, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, to everyone who appeared in this reading, directly or indirectly. I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the rose quartz, this is going to be your reading all about your month of March 2024. We are going to start off with a general overview of your month, so we're going to take a look at the main themes, the main energies, the main events of the month ahead, and let's get into it. So your first oracle card is Change. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. So yes, I do think change itself is a major theme for this group in the month of March, but also surrender. And as I'm saying that, the camera timer is at 44. Surrendering to the divine's plan because you trust that things are unfolding in your favor. You trust that the universe has your back. And the great sense of peace and relief that comes with letting go of that which was never yours to hold in the first place. Letting go of the illusion of control that was exhausting you, that was frustrating you, and that was taking you out of the present moment. So it's a surrender that then brings great peace for you. We also have peace. One thing that I forgot to mention is that this oracle deck has both light cards and shadow cards. And so for this group, you guys got a light card and you literally have the word peace, which we just finished talking about. And it says, I find and share my inner peace in all circumstances. So not only are you achieving this inner peace, but I do think that it's gonna, first of all, be noticeable to those around you. So you may get comments that you are seeming a lot happier. You may get comments not necessarily about your physical appearance, but just that you look good, you look happy, because you are radiating peace from within. And that definitely, whether people are like picking up on it energetically or like they're noticing that, they're noticing that something is different in you. They're noticing a change in your energy. And then we have the cosmic net of reflection. We are a reflection of one another. When we illuminate, we bounce light from our soul to another. Even more confirmation that this inner transformation you're going through is being seen by other people and reflecting to other people as well. You may be inspiring others around you to live in the same way. We have the numbers 10 and 30 here. So the 10th of the month or the 30th of the month could be significant dates, but these two numbers together could also be a date in itself. Like it could be October 30th, which I don't know if that's like someone's birthday or a date to look forward to in the future, but that's kind of interesting. Someone with life path 1 or life path 3 could also be significant, whether that is you or someone close to you. I also want to mention that butterflies, but more specifically blue butterflies, could be a significant symbol for you. I know that there's an emoji that is a blue butterfly, so that might be one that you are seeing a lot. And I do think it's a confirmation for you that all is well, that you are on the right path, and that you are in good hands with the universe. Tigers as well, or like cats in general, could be an important symbol for you too. So let's take a look at our astrology cards. We have the 9th house, learning, philosophy, publishing, writing, discovery, law, exploring, travel, ethics, foreign countries, religion, higher education, spirituality, and wisdom. And then we have the planet Pluto. So the signs of, because this would be Scorpio, like Pluto rules over the sign of Scorpio, and then we have Sagittarius here. So Scorpio and Sagittarius placements could be significant as well. Again, whether that is you or someone close to you. There is a message for those of you who are writers, or like you are writing something either to like submit or publish it. Some of you will be publishing a very significant work. And I think this is like for those of you who are writers for a living, you are about to publish a work that will be very pivotal in your career. I even want to say that it will be life-changing. You like looking when you're older and you look back on the span of your career, you'll be like, that was the work that really changed my life. But there's also a message for others of you who are in the process of writing something, whether this is a book, an essay, a thesis, whatever it might be. Some of you may be like in the middle of writing something or even almost done, and then decide in the later stages that you want to change the structure, or like go like scrap a big part of your work and just go back to the start and change things. Something kind of similar happened to me recently, where I'm making a song and I'm in the stage of mixing. Like I did as much as I could on my own, and now I have someone helping me mix it. So I'm in the session with them, and you would think, if you're thinking from like a linear A to B, we should be in the finishing stages of like getting the song ready. And it's at this point that I decide I want to change like the structure of the song and go in and change the melody. So it's not very linear, and it could be kind of inconvenient. But, and I guess honestly, this doesn't have to be limited to writing. Any project that you're working on, you could be like halfway through or even almost done, and it's like, oh my God, but you can't not, because you feel so deeply like, no, we have to change it. We have to go back and make some changes. And I definitely think that in the long term, it will be worth it. You guys could also be interested. This is so specific. There's a couple very specific messages coming out right now. You could be very interested in like ancient civilizations this month. So like cultures that don't, or civilizations that don't exist anymore. That could even be like, doesn't have to be humans. It could even be like the dinosaurs, or like some period in history where different people or different species inhabited the earth. You could get really into that and into like the mysteries of what happened back then. You could also be into like true crime or even conspiracy theories. It doesn't mean that you're believing them, but you could be interested in learning about what kind of conspiracy theories are out there, because Pluto has this feeling of things that are hidden and mysterious and maybe even a little bit taboo. And so with learning and discovery and exploring, these could be the kind of things that you're interested in. So, or even like human psychology, yeah, crime, like the mysteries of old civilizations and things like that, or the dark side of things. The ninth house, it can talk about religion as well, spirituality. So like the dark side of those kind of things. Maybe you're interested in learning about cults or something like that. It's kind of the hidden side, the not so nice side of the world. You could be interested in learning about that or consuming content about that in the month of March. And this could also be a month where you are thinking about your own beliefs and your own worldviews. And something a little similar came up in group number 1, but thinking about how you've been influenced by like religious or spiritual upbringing or like societal programming, and sort of investigating that. Anyway, I know that was a lot of stuff, so I'm sorry if that was all over the place, but yeah. And then of course Pluto in the ninth house could be like a relevant placement of you or someone you know. But yeah, I think that's all. So let's take a look at our tea leaf cards now for any other events of the month that you should know about, things to look forward to, things to look out for. Ooh, we have Star with guaranteed success. We love to see that. We have Dagger, fear, worries, tense situations. So there is a situation that you could be very nervous about, and your spiritual team wants you to know that you are sure to succeed. And it's normal. It's normal to be nervous when you really care about something, but they want you to know that you're ready. You're ready. You have what it takes. Guaranteed. You're guaranteed to be successful. And then we have Gong with an exciting event. Some of you guys could be waiting to hear back about some results of like an exam, an application. You may have submitted something and you're about to find out like if it was received well or if it was accepted. There's something that this feels like a climax. There's a climax that you're waiting for, and you're wanting to find out if you were successful or not, and you're really, really nervous about it. And the star says you are guaranteed success. I'm also noticing the first letters of these are SDG, which is like sustainable development goals, which I don't know if that is relevant or who that is relevant to, but I just thought I would mention that. Yeah. This is going to be awkward if I'm wrong, but is that the abbreviation for Singapore dollar? No, that would be SGD. Maybe. I could be totally wrong, actually. Whatever. Let's get into the specific parts of your readings. So we have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Sun, which is so beautiful. And for your oracle card, we have Aquamarine and the White Lily. Go with the flow. And we have the element of water here. Divine Mother, Shekinah Flow, and Detach. So we have Leo energy with the sun, and then we have water energy here. So Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. These two together could also be indicating someone who has the sun in a water sign. Sun in Cancer, sun in Scorpio, sun in Pisces. And the sun, when it comes to people, it can talk about children. So there could be a child or children in general that are very significant to you this month, whether that is your own children, children whom you are working with, a niece, nephew, a friend's child, a baby sibling, any children around you. You could be learning a lot from them, especially if you've reached a point in your adult life where you feel crushed by the pressure to control everything and hold yourself together and take everything so seriously. Being around the pure and innocent energy of children could be very like a source of stress relief or relaxation, playfulness, fun. That could be something that's really eye-opening and really much needed for you. And this could also be a reflection of your inner child coming out this month, and your inner child being very happy, you giving love to your inner child. But in general, the sun indicates this kind of carefree, joyful, and playful energy. So I do want you guys to know it doesn't look like there's any drama, no stress, no worries in your relationships in the month of March. Just happiness, just joy, just laughter. That is the very strong feeling that the sun is giving me. And together with this go with the flow message, we have Divine Mother. So a mother figure could be significant as well. Shekinah flow. So this is a word that means like the presence of God. And it can also talk about the presence of a divine feminine energy. And the idea with this card is that it's about getting into the flow in order to access this divine feminine energy. And it's when you relinquish this illusion of control that you get unstuck and get into the flow. So I think when it comes to your love life and relationships, you'll find that the key to unlocking this joy is accepting the present moment as it is and not worrying about the final outcome of things and not trying to like control or predict the final outcome of things. This is something that I've struggled with a lot. Like as an anxious person, I feel like you like to control or feel like you have control of the outcome because it makes you feel safe. But it really does take you out of the present moment when you are spending time with other people. So like if I can use myself as an example, I would be with my partner and just worrying about like, what if something happens and we break up? What if we're not together forever? Or when I would go back to Canada and see my cats, who both of them have passed away now, but when they were getting old and I knew that day was coming, I would just worry about it when I was with them. And so rather than just being in the moment with them and appreciating their presence and like snuggling them and playing with them, I'm worrying about this day in the future. And like, it just, yeah, anyway. I think that you are shifting out of this kind of energy because you're realizing I cannot control what happens in the future. But what I do know is that I have this beautiful moment right now where I am together with this beloved person or with this beloved animal, with this soul whom I love with all my heart. This joy exists right now as a blessing for me to be in. And whether I worry about the future or not, it's going to happen how it's going to happen. What I can do in this moment is enjoy their company and enjoy their presence, because the fact that I'm able to connect and share love with this this other soul is such a miracle. And I just want to be here. I just want to exist in this moment now and enjoy this miracle. So I think not worrying about the future of relationships, like not worrying how things play out, and just enjoying the love that exists right now is a big part of like how you're transforming in your relationships. So, and I think that goes with all kind of relationships, your family, your friends, your romantic life, your companion animals. Another example that's coming to my mind is like, if you're on a date with someone, you're not worrying about like, what if they're not the one and I'm wasting my time? You're just thinking about enjoying the date and getting to know this person and maybe learning something from them or learning something about yourself. And whatever happens in the future, it's irrelevant because you have this blessing right now of being able to connect with this person. I guess I should say it's not like your future is irrelevant, but it shouldn't change your ability to appreciate this present moment. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So for your next area of life, for your career and studies, we have the Queen of Swords, or the Sovereign of Swords in this deck, and we have another butterfly here. And we have Secret Garden, Sacred Space, Cultivate Your Space, Inner Beauty, and Self-Care. We have a nice continuation of no drama, no BS energy. And this is going to be in your career as well. And as I'm saying this, the camera timer is at 1919, which interestingly is the number of the sun. So this playful and fun energy is going to be extending to your career and studies. You may already really enjoy the work that you do and it's already fun for you every day. But I think in the month of March, you may be getting to engage in a project or an activity that is especially fun. So like if you're a student, there may be a presentation that you're working on that just happens to be about a topic that you really, really enjoy. And so this month is particularly fun. Or maybe you're working with clients that you really get along with. They're super funny, super friendly. Something's happening this month that makes going to work more fun, or that makes going to school more fun. And it feels like there's not as much pressure as there usually is. And yes, there's, if you experience any like workplace drama, or if you have a stressful job, I feel like all of that kind of energy is really going to be at a minimum this month. It feels overall quite peaceful and harmonious, and very few things will happen at work or at school that will follow you home, if that makes sense. Like, I don't see you really coming home at the end of the day and ruminating over what happened at work and, oh, I have to do this tomorrow. You're like, oh, that was a nice day. And then you just kind of let it fly away and you don't have to worry about it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And now part of this with the Queen of Swords, part of this could be because you are getting better at asserting boundaries. And so I generally do feel like there's just going to be less BS in the air, but also when it does come knocking at your door, you possess the strong boundaries to be like, nope, that's not my job. Like, nope, I actually just clocked out. So you're also actively like taking steps to keep that stuff away. And I do think that sacred space is talking about your boundaries and cultivating your inner peace. It could also be talking about the physical environment that you work in. You could be having a place all to yourself to get work done or to get your studying done. Like you get peace and quiet to do your own thing. And, to set the room in the way that you want it to, especially if you're someone who's quite sensitive when it comes to sensory things, I'm hearing. So like if you're the type of person who can't focus when there's certain noises around, or you can't focus unless there's certain noises, or you need to be completely by yourself, or you need to be at home, or you need to be in a cafe, or whatever it is, I see you spending a lot of time in this physical environment that is conducive to your focus and your productivity and your peace of mind. And there is something specific for a few of you about like getting your own office, like having a place that is just for you. And some of you could be working at home as well if we think of this as your sanctuary, but I think the more important message is just that it's an environment where you truly feel at peace. And I also want to say this is a month where your concerns are really being heard. And if there's something that you've been, I feel like for some of you, there's something that you have asked someone at work to do multiple times and they haven't done it yet. And it's starting to get frustrating because it's like you don't want to nag them. Or like you feel like you're nagging them, but you're like, oh my God, like, can you just freaking do it? Like I've told you 4 times. So those kind of things that you've wanted to be addressed are finally getting addressed. And it's like, oh, finally, thank goodness, like that. And yeah, just in general, it seems like your concerns are being heard. Your input is being considered. Your ideas are being heard, which is lovely. So finally, we are going to look at your cards for your spiritual and personal growth. For your tarot card, we have the Ruler of Wands. So this is the King of Wands. And we have Pixie Helpers and Green Aventurine. Not all wanderers are lost. Clearing the way, luck, and opportunity. That frog is so cute. Look at him. Frogs could be a significant symbol for this group as well. With the King of Wands, it definitely gives me a feeling of someone who is just completely living life on their own terms and following their own joy, pursuing their own passion, making their own dreams come true. And someone who is committed to authenticity and knows very well what they desire versus what is expected of them versus what society says they should want. Like the King of Wands very much has their own definition of like success and abundance and happiness, and will boldly pursue that even if others don't understand it. They're like, this is my life. I gotta live my life for me. It's that kind of vibe. And I think something that, and this kind of, I guess it kind of does go back to letting go of control, but this message of not all wanderers are lost, I really think you're shifting out of this energy of like, I have to know where I'm going. I have to be heading to one ultimate destination to make something of my life. And you maybe have come from a place where not knowing the final outcome or not knowing the final destination like scared you or made you uneasy or even made you feel like a failure, because maybe people around you seem to really know what they wanted to do. Like, I'm gonna go get a degree in this, and then this is my 10-year plan, and had this really like clear idea of their road to success. And maybe you didn't have that as much and you were more like exploring and experimenting, and that almost felt wrong to you. Like, I better figure out what the heck I'm doing soon, otherwise I'm a failure. And I think this part of your spiritual and personal growth is embracing your exploration, embracing your experimentation, and because you recognize that having it figured out knowing where you're going, getting to your end destination is very much an illusion. And it's like, why would I base my sense of success or my sense of worthiness off of an illusion? Yeah. And realizing that if your path doesn't look like everyone else's path, it's because you're forging your own. And it's like, I feel like you always knew this, that you were forging a unique path, but the shift is that there's not like a feeling of shame associated with it, or like I'm weird, or I'm doing something like, yeah, that's like weird or unconventional. And it's becoming something that you're proud of. You're proud of your unique definition of success. You're proud of the unique way that you live your life. You're proud that you don't fit into boxes. And you no longer feel the need to like define, this is my final outcome. This is my final destination. This sounds kind of dark, but everyone's final destination is dying. So like, I think it really comes down to, and Queen of Swords makes me think of this sometimes as well. Like, why are we all walking around like taking ourselves so seriously? Like, the fact that we even exist here, when you think about it, is so weird. And we don't spend enough time being in awe of that. And we spend too much time rushing around trying to like prove our worth, or prove that we made something of ourselves and get to these fake destinations. And like, I'm no longer gonna apologize for taking my time and changing my mind over again and reinventing myself over again and exploring new places. Yeah. And I think the fact that you're coming out, this is actually really beautiful, because like the sun has a very childlike energy, and then you have a king and a queen. So there's a balance of like masculine and feminine energy here. And then there's also a balance of this childlike energy and this mature energy. You've really reached a place of balance within you. That's awesome. Yeah. So my group number 3s, these are all the messages that I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and a wonderful month of March. And I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. Oop. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I will also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here. I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly, and I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!